Why Japan still holds 3 Netaji files as secret, when rest of the world has declassified all they had.
The members of the Indian Independence League, IIL, the civilian administrative wing of the Provisional Government of Free India, PGFI, carried out an investigation based on circumstantial evidence and individual contact. It brought out a report in 1953, after conducting sustained investigation in different parts of East Asia. The IIL agreed with the reports that Netaji had passed away on 18 August 1945. But it concluded that the aircraft crash had not been an accident, but an act of sabotage. According to the IIL, Japanese officials could neither risk shielding Netaji from the Allies lest he resurfaced, nor hand him over to them and endanger relations with Indians. So, to save herself from the wrath of both India and the occupation forces, Japanese officials first diverted the route of Netaji's plane, separated him from 5 of his 6 associates, and let only one to travel with him. The plane crash was deliberate. It was a manipulated crash only to cause bodily injuries to the passengers. It was not their intention to see everybody killed. Japanese military authorities had earlier been contacted by an Indian leader from India, with the warning that Subhas Bose must not be allowed to come to India. Soon after Japan's surrender, General MacArthur contacted Major General Iwaguro, who was once in charge of the liaison department vis-a-vis IIL. He had earlier been marked by the Japanese High Command for having pro-American feeling. Colonel Kagawa, a senior officer of Hikari Kikan, served as the liaison with enemy forces in connection with movements of Netaji. Kagawa and General Isoda were instrumental in diversion of the course of the plane towards Formosa from Saigon. Separating Gulzara Singh, Pritam Singh, Abid Hassan and Devna Das at Saigon was a calculated plan. Extending facility to Aya to proceed to Tokyo direct was a predetermined plan. At Formosa, Netaji fell into the group of pro-American Japanese forces, who were all out to save themselves soon after the fall of Japan. Iwaguro and Colonel Fujiwara were involved in it.
Told you not to worry, but maybe that's a lie. Honey, what's your hurry? Won't you stay inside?
Dr. King Yen, Director of Health and Hygiene in Taipei, in September 1946, told Hurin Shah, who investigated the 1945 reported incident of Netaji's death, that the Japanese did not want Netaji proceed to Russia. They deliberately dived the plane down on the airfield to kill Netaji. A small obituary notice appeared in the papers. In 1955, Government of India decided to conduct an inquiry into the circumstances of the death of Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose, and wanted to know from Japan whether the proposal of the inquiry was acceptable to them, in the term in which the proposal was made. While consenting to the proposal, Mr. Nakagawa, Director of Asian Affairs Div, added that Government of Japan hopes that there would be a. No departure from the main objectives in view, and b. extraneous inquiries and decide researches would not be made.
Here, the question arises, why was Japan so wary of any aside researches which may arise in course of the investigation?
It is also to be noted that, Mr. Nakagawa simultaneously informed that on their side the Japanese government is preparing a detailed note containing all relevant information available about the circumstances relating to the death, and would be happy to make the document available to us, for transmission to India in confidence. A few months later, a confidential Japanese report was received by Government of India in January 1956, prior to setting up the Shah Nawaz Khan-led three-member committee in April 56.
It is quite reasonably a matter of suspicion, whether Japan was trying subtly, to set the framework of India's investigation, through this message.
Japan's stubbornness not to release the files is reflected in External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj's statement in Parliament on 9 March 2017.
Regarding any other documents that Japanese government may have, they have conveyed that the documents are declassified as per their policies, after prescribed time period, based on an internal review mechanism. No exception can be made for India.